Hi, welcome to another episode of Helping Challenging Children. I'm Dr. Pat McGuire, and I'm here to help you understand who children are so that you can better be prepared to respond to their needs rather than reacting to their behaviors. This episode is called Looking Through a Child's Eyes, or Looking Through Children's Eyes. And I wanted to tell you a story about a little girl who had been in my practice. She was in kindergarten, and one day she came home from school very upset. It turns out her teacher had been gone for the day, so there was a substitute. Well, the substitute read the children a story, and as is common, the teacher brought the book up and showed each of the pages, which had pictures, and when she was done, she asked each of the children to draw a picture of what they most liked about the story. When she saw this little girl's picture, however, she was very upset with her and said that that was inappropriate and she needed to draw something else. Well, the little girl couldn't explain to her mother about why it was inappropriate because it was just based on a picture she saw in the book, and she found it very interesting and funny, which is why she drew it. A week later, there happened to be school conferences, so the mother brought up this situation to the regular teacher, who had heard about it from the substitute. The substitute also had kept the picture, and it was in the portfolio folder. So they got it out and started looking at it, and it looked like a man who was looking down like he was looking inside a toilet, because there was a lid and then there was the lower level. And they were very confused about this because the story was not dealing with toilets at all. So the teacher got out the book and they started looking at the pictures in the book. Well, they didn't see anything until they got to the inside front cover. And there on the inside front cover, which would be, if I can get this open here. Okay, I can't get this open. Okay, inside front cover, there was a picture here. And the picture actually turned out to be of an antique printing press. Now they had flat levels, and then they had a board that came down and would press against the lower level to print the sheets. And the letters and the ink was on top. Well, it turns out in this picture, a man was looking at it to make sure that it was all even, so it was going to turn out all right. Well, the teacher and the mother thought this was very funny at how the girl had perceived it in the way she had, and they realized that the substitute teacher's reaction really had not helped this child at all. When mother got home, she sat down with her daughter and said that she had seen the picture and seen where in the book the daughter had found her inspiration. She then said she understood why her daughter thought it looked like a man putting his head in the toilet. And so they talked about that and talked about what antique printing presses were like and how, it was not as easy to work as today with our, great computer printers. So she reassured her daughter that she had done nothing wrong or inappropriate, and in fact had added to the value of the book because no one had considered the influence of the inside cover of the book on how the story would be perceived. Well, turned out okay for this girl, but there are many, many young children who perceive situations in a very simplistic manner based on their fund of knowledge, what they have learned over the few years they have been there. And yet we adults look at it from our decades of experiences and interpret it very differently. If we are not careful of how we respond to these children, we can actually create what's called an adverse childhood experience. One that basically puts down, insults, questions the skills and the moral judgment of the child, and that can lead to long-term problems unless there are balancing forces, such in this case where the regular teacher and the mother both understood what had happened and supported the child and provided her a balance from the initial response she got. Now, this is just one story, but it shows the importance of understanding how children think, how they process, and the three layers of children: the temperament, the biology, and the environment. So based on her environmental experiences and how she could interpret things through biology of her brain, she came up with a toilet with a man in his head, with his head by the toilet. From there, we need to say, okay, how can I help her learn to perceive it and process it in a more abstract manner, because she was a little more concrete, and how to help her grow. That's where the environment can help or worsen the lives of a child. If you'd like to learn more about understanding the three layers of children, the temperament, the biology, and the environment, my program, my course, Never Assume Knowing Children Before Labeling Them, is a good foundational course to give you that information as you then begin to say, how do I approach a child, or how do I modify how I approach a child in order to best support their social and emotional growth. You can find information about my course on my website, www.helpingchallengingchildren.online/store. I hope you look into it, because I feel that it will help you better understand how to live and work with children. This is the same information I have been teaching parents for over 30 years and teaching schools and other agencies. And the response has always been, oh, I would never have thought of it that way. How about you take a chance? Take the course. See if maybe you can think another way too. Talk to you later.